that, you want to make sure to put that in your schedule first. And key staff, who can tell me what's a Little Rock? Things that can be moved. So things that are urgent and have to happen, but in terms of the time is when they happen, is flexible. So for example, church may also be a Little Rock. Some may go to mass early in the morning, but if you go later at night, that's fine too. Or some have to work out, but if you work out at night versus in the morning, doesn't really matter as long as you get that workout in. So demos constitute as that Little Rock. So putting your big rocks first in your schedule, and then you want to go ahead and put the your demo times around that as well. So this is an example of what your schedule could potentially look like, right? You want to make sure to spread your demos how long apart? 2 hours apart, right? Take into account a few things. First of all, team meeting. Please, your demos should not be any later than 4 o'clock on Wednesday. If you have a demo at 6 o'clock, what am I going to tell you? Move it. Move it. If you have a demo at 8 o'clock, what am I going to tell you? If you have a demo at 10 o'clock, I'm going to tell you what? Do it. You maybe do. We had a 10, so I don't know if you'll make it. If it's virtual, you'll be able to be fine. Make sure your last demo was at 4 o'clock. We also have Champions Club. I want to recognize those that came to Champions Club this week. You can stand up for me. David Delgado, if you can stand up, give a round of applause. Naya, Luke, so okay, just up. Cool. So, by the way, no coincidence, this past week, they were also the ones that are over $1,000 for the week. So, this week we're covering, some really good stuff by Aaron Luden. And even if you're not even learning on Champions Club, why is it good to come in the morning? Yeah, you phoned it, right? And you book up an extra 2 to 3 appointments per morning. If you do that 3 to 4 times, it's an extra 8 to 12 appointments in the morning, right? Also, don't forget Thursday Moneymaker Phone Jam. Right? Ideally, you have your demos already set up by Wednesday. A lot of these guys that came to Champions Club, they didn't come on Thursday. They did demos instead. Why? Because they were booking in the morning. So it's up to you as to when you want to make your phone calls, but make sure that when you're planning your schedule, you take that into account. All right? So this week, what's up for grabs? For those of you that are brand new, raise your hand if you're in your fast start. Your fast start ends tomorrow. Raise your hand. Give the guys a round of applause. They're almost done with their fast start. Solid job. You still have one more day, by the way. One more day left. Anthony Chili, last day of his fast start. True story. So it's $7,000 in one day. How many appointments do you think he had booked up? A lot. Like 8 in one day. He was working from 8 to midnight that day alone. So there's no... The end is tomorrow, but it doesn't necessarily mean that your fast start is, written off. You can still potentially do 10K if that is still your goal. I know for those of you who've been coming in for Champions Club, you still have plenty of time. You still have one whole day left. So for those of you in your fast start, if you have not gotten to an SLDM yet with Mr. Gamboa, it is this Tuesday coming up. As a reminder, you need to be at least $1,000 in sales to get invited to that. Who's been to an SLDM, by the way? Pretty fire, pretty good stuff, right? Don't tell him the secret. But if you haven't gone to it, you definitely want to make it. He's only running 2 more, so I highly recommend to get there as soon as possible. You can potentially get on the newsletter. Who knows how much does it take to get on the newsletter? Seriously? You guys don't know? Okay, $1,000 to get on the newsletter. Who can tell me why is it good as a representative to be good on the newsletter, to put on the newsletter consistently? Yes, so you are nationally ranked in a multi-million-dollar company out of tens of thousands of students. It is a great resume builder, and it shows that you're consistent and you stand out for future corporations. So also Consistency Club. Anyone want to tell me what Consistency Club is? Not from my office. Who else? What's Consistency Club?
You sell over $1,000 consistently.
$1,000 a week.
17 weeks in a row.
Yeah, so it's $1,000 in a week, 10 weeks in a row. 17. I'm good at covering this. You guys should know this. These are key promotions to do with your representatives. So Consistency Club, $1,000 a week for 10 weeks in a row. So why do you think consistency is good for your resume? Shows that you're not a what? You're not a one-hit wonder, right? That consistency. A lot of employers look for consistency when you apply for jobs out of college. Okay. So also President's Club. If you're already at 30-30, you've already won President's Club. Solid job. For those of you who haven't hit 30-30 yet, you can still win President's Club. Again, you cannot put a price on President's Club. That is the #1 resume builder you can have. And you guys still have 2 months to hit that. So this week, excuse me, next week is the division meeting push, right? We spoke about that last week in team meeting. You can win free Cutco if you hit certain levels, and I'll probably have the slide at that point. You can win free Cutco. So that means that this week, if next week is the push, what's this week? Who can tell me?
Momentum week.
It's momentum week. This week is momentum. So as you're planning your schedule, take that into account. You're in the middle of momentum week right now. You can't expect to have a $5,000 push out of nowhere. You definitely want to build momentum to that. So if you're used to doing 8 to 10 appointments a week, you might want to kick that up a notch to 12 to 15, just to build momentum so that during the push, you can do that 15 to 20 plus. Okay? But let's not forget that is next week. However, for those of you that are still shy of your goal, you still have Monday. You still have Monday. So don't forget tomorrow. What do we call Monday? Magic Monday, right? Why do we call it Magic Monday? Because magic happens. So if you weren't planning on working on Monday, but you're shy of your sales goal, I'd recommend do at least 1 to 2 appointments to make sure that you're hitting your number. Okay. And at the end of the day, guys, I'm only holding you accountable to this because you sign up for the job and that's my job, right? I'm not your boss. I'm your manager, your coach. I'm here to sign you up for what you want to do. So I'd rather you don't love me all the time, but you're making money, as opposed to you love me and you're broke. I don't want the second one. So let's make sure that you are holding yourselves accountable to what you had signed up for last Wednesday in terms of what your pledge was for the week. So that's the wrap up for the PSP. One last thing before you leave: do not leave without checking out with myself. Please, 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 please. You're gonna meet with myself or one of the assistants right now. So what we're gonna do right now, just to kick things off, I'm gonna put our phone jam song in a second. You're gonna have your schedules. You're gonna put what first? Big rocks or little rocks first? Big rocks. Then you're gonna figure out your goal, right? And then you're gonna get your trackers. If you need to schedule any more appointments between Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'm gonna expect that you're gonna save and make calls because it's in the next 3 days. And then you're gonna sign out with me. Okay? So let's finish the week strong. We are currently about $5,000 short of our goal for the week. I feel more than confident we can hit that tomorrow. There's 20 people here. That means if we can get 50 demos tomorrow, we can definitely hit our goal. That means each of you need to do 2 appointments tomorrow, and we hit our goal. Or a few of you do 4, some of you do 1 or 2, and we're there. Okay. So that being said, let's kick things off. You guys know the drill. Let's spread out. It's like our phone jam song every week. Yeah, same song. Like if you're at the beach, you make calls. If you're at the club, you make calls. And then we kick things off. So that's what I did.
Bravo! Bravo!
How long was that? That was, I don't know. Yeah. So that I don't think the kickoff meeting should be more than 20.
That's our first shot of putting a PSP meeting together. That's essentially it for the most part. We can always add a few nuances here and there. That's already stellar. The objectives were hit. Any questions or any takeaways, feedback? It's like another team meeting. Yeah. Right? I would say if I were to write down the 3 biggest objectives of that, number 1 is to clarify the process for PSP and phone jam. Okay, so you're taking notes. Objectives of the PSP kickoff: to clarify the PSP 101 meetings and the phone jam. To clarify the 101 PSP meeting and phone jam expectations. Okay. Number 2, provide clarity for the week, specifically schedule and promotion. So schedule is what are the events, and what are the things they want to get excited about and can't get excited about. I love the SLDM promotion. This is where you put the theme reminder for the theme of the week for the Wednesday team meeting.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too.
Right, what's the theme for the week? Alliance to start. I would add in, don't forget, what's May 28th, everybody? What's May 28th? Don't put Yeah, all the phone jam. I would every Sunday talk about SC1 the event. Actually no, this is for sure. This is under the promotion. Every PSP kickoff Sunday and every Wednesday meeting, you gotta talk about SC1 and the Alliance, all day phone jam. SC1 Alliance, all day phone jam. SC1 Alliance, all day phone jam. All summer long. And the third objective is to create recognition for recognition. Create for recognition. What she does also in there, create habits and ways she teaches people how she wants them to think. But part of it, she clarified expectations, full-time, part-time. Cool?
Yeah, I've never done this, so I guess anything you would add or.
This is version 1.0, but it's a really great start. It's a really great start. Maybe could we add it to our list for next?
For a call, maybe.
Cool.
All right. So for QPR, do you want me to cover that? How to go over QPR, Jeff?
Sure.
It's on Sundays.
PPR and then one-on-one.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So for the QPR, for the few reps that you do have to do, it's what name. What are the main things you need to look for? Like, what are like red flags on a QPR?
Check in. Who check in?
Consecutive sales.
Yeah. So closing ratio. What else?
Didn't check in.
Yeah, if they didn't check in, I think they said that. What else?
Husband and wife.
Yeah.
Really big one.
Husband or wife, or specifically they just saw the husband.
Yeah.
Right.
Rex.
Yeah. So the amount of recs. Right. Anything else? I wouldn't say just closing ratio. What else? The type of sale, right? Because you always have your 3 types of reps. I think we talk about that in training. Those that sell homemaker or nothing. Those that means what are they bad at if they they're bad at dropping down. Those that just don't sell anything or those that peace kings and queens, right? That's kind of like what I look for. So when you have your QPR, I always get like a Sharpie and I circle the red flags. I check off anything that's good. And I make it very clear what they're going to get paid that week. And I lately I've been adding, I'm like, all right, cool. By the way, this is the last week. I should expect you to earn base pay. This past week was a fluke. We're going to get you going this week so that you're not going to need the welfare money anymore. Anyone do anything different or? Pretty much.
Let's just see no phone number before. I think that was a red flag.
Oh yeah, you definitely need the phone number.
Yeah.
You definitely need the phone number because you need to verify that stuff sometimes. Yeah. You definitely need to share. It's on Madonna.
I saw Madonna. Chris Brown.
All right. So if you can pull up your NFL, the NFL document, they did a really nice job of pinpointing what exactly you should be covering. And some of this stuff is kind of already in the meeting, so it should make things speed along a little bit easier. So looking back, it's kind of like analyzing, hey, well, your recommendations were off. Here's what you should fix. How's this going? Hey, this is off. How's that going? Anyone need clarity on looking back? It's pretty easy. Okay. So looking forward, that's my favorite part, is building vision. And I think that's how you're going to create long-term reps, is creating more vision. So showing them based on the goals that they did, and my objective here with the schedule, so that they make their own schedule, right? But I also like to verify that their schedule is something that we want, because some reps, it's either it's one of 3, right? They either do like a pretty decent schedule. It's usually one that's been around for 3-4 weeks. They either give you what they think that you want to see, which is what? That they're working like every single day, right? So in that case, I recommend you force them to take a day or 2 off. So hey, by the way, I know you want to do 30 appointments this week, Johnny. Why don't you just do 20? Take 2 or 3 days off. That's cool. You're good. Why don't you study those days? I'd rather you build momentum right now. 20 is fine. Hey, if you do 20, here's what's cool. You can still earn this amount. You kind of work the numbers, show them when they can earn. Or you have reps to say, I want to do 4 appointments, right? Which is not too common, especially if you hit the part-time, full-time pretty good, pretty well. You shouldn't really get that. But does anybody know how to handle a rep that only gives you 4? Yeah.
How many do you want to do on Monday?
No, they tell you already.
Oh, they already told you?
Yeah, I want to do 4 this week.
Well, maybe you look back. If they're the type of rep that keeps saying you want to do little amounts, like ask them about the pick last week and then use that to pick your
Yeah. Depending on what, Johnny, you want to earn this amount and you're only doing 4 appointments, it's not really correlating. So you either need to change how much you want to earn or you need to change what you're doing. Right? You don't necessarily need to do that much, but that much more, but I'd recommend a little bit more. You could do 4 appointments, but you're not taking classes. I mean, is there anything else you're doing with the time? Right? And whatever their goal is for next week, I always add 2 appointments to it. Because what do you have to account for? Cancellations. So after I know their schedule, I'm like, all right, cool. So when you come here on Wednesday and you sign in, your goal is going to be 12 appointments. Right? So that they're clear. You agreed upon that ahead of time, and makes your life easier when you're setting up the phone jam. You put their goal as 12 or whatever your goal might be. Right? And then you talk about not only if they sell a certain amount, but what does that mean for them? Hey, once you hit a $3,000, you're eligible for key staff, and you're also at 20% commission. All of you should be versed in the amount of income that they earn at certain percentages. Let's do a quick review. See if you guys are on point with that. So not districts, but once they're at 15%, they sold $1,000. What have they earned? Yeah, we earned $100. What about when they had 3K? No. $400. $400. What about when they hit 6K?
Oh, total.
Yeah, total. What have they earned?
Yeah, okay, I thought you meant per. That's fine.
They earned $1,000. And then they had 30-30. What have they earned? $2,000. So you can kind of use that to get them excited about, hey, once you start consistently doing this, this is what you're going to be earning. You're eligible for this. You're at this percentage, et cetera, et cetera. All right. I always try to put in their schedule at least 1 grand day, if not 2 to 3. Everyone should have at least 1 grad day. Right? And that's when you want to get them confirmed for certain conferences or meetings, SLDMs, that sort of thing. You might have a rep that only sold like $200 their first weekend, but then after team meeting, they sold 800, which means they're eligible for SLDM. I would start like, hey, by the way, you hit a grand, congrats. I spoke to Mr. Gamboa. He told me to invite you to the SLDM. Right, it's a big deal. Hey, guess what? Eldrick, he's going to SLDM. Isn't that awesome? Oh my God, that's so cool. Whatever, just get him pumped. All right. Little things like newsletter. Like, I don't know, I remember being a rep and seeing my name somewhere. It was just a big deal to me. I'm like, Johnny, you were top 100 in the entire East Coast of the United States. You understand? That's insane. Like, out of every single person from Puerto Rico to Virginia, you rank top 50. Like, that's crazy. And I just say, like, top 50, top 100. Like, I just look on the page and kind of guesstimate. All right. And I recommend to print them out, too, so that they have them in their blue books, but that's not necessarily a PSP thing. But I would always reference Dirty 30. Hey, you're blank away from Dirty 30. You're this away from Dirty 30. And Dirty 30 just needs to be a bigger culture, I feel. But I also think it also just shouldn't be that big of a deal to hit Dirty 30. You know, what, you've been here a month? You still haven't hit it? Come on, dude. What do we need to do? Let me help you. What's going on? What's missing? Right? So the last part is leave it to action. So Jeff, this is what I do for PSPs. I don't know if you recommend the division gets on this. I get their schedule sheet. I flip it over, and I have a to-do list for them to do that Sunday. And as soon as they're done with that to-do list, they can leave. So let's say, for example, They average very little recommendations. What do you think I'm going to have them work on? Page memorizing what? Page 15, right? So I'll be like, all right, cool. So you're going to memorize page 15. And then what should they have physically like set up? Their binder. And then I'll look at their schedule. If they need to do, let's say, 4 appointments between now and Wednesday, I'll put schedule.
Yeah, this is a great opportunity on Sundays to create things that are going to increase the reps skill set that you don't really have the time or the focus to do Monday through Saturday.
Yeah.
Because they might come in the Champions Club, but you got all reps to manage, you got workshops to run.
Yeah.
Sundays are shot to increase skill set. I don't think Corinne's done really well. Her reps get better and better at the job.
You can even do things like sign up for field training. You can have them watch a certain video, like if it's a certain average order thing, for example. Hey, watch this video before you leave. Right? So Blake, as soon as you finish with these 3 things right here, you're good to go. Just sign out before you leave. Cool. Go find a space. Go find a chair desk. Talk to them, next person. But I really like it to do this because when you have so many reps, you don't remember what every single person needs. You know, so it just helps me personally stay organized with what people have. And it's just right on the back of the schedule sheet.
The sheet that they get.
Yeah. And that way they have a set time, and I promote. I'm like, hey, Sunday, get in, get out. Like, I don't, unless it's an all-day phone jam, like, get your stuff and you can go, but get your stuff done, right? So, yeah.
Would you recommend listing them in order of priority, like 15 first, and do this? And like, again, they can always do it on their own, but
They won't do it on their own.
no, not on their own. Like prioritize it.
Oh, prioritize.
Prioritize it on their own.
Yeah.
But like.
Yeah, I guess you can do like one.
Like I would just schedule it 4 appointments first, and then focus on everything else, because they're not going to focus on anything else, and then move on.
Yeah, I always
Without
prioritize
booking around appointments.
demos. Yeah, good point. Prioritize
So
demos.
what's happening now is you're creating a page, keeping the P. I mean, you're going to take all these PDI sheets, these trackers, and what are you going to do with these trackers?
You put all the information.
Where are you going to put the information?
Yeah.
PDI at night. Okay. Or if you have assistants. Or you know what you should do? You end the 101 by plugging it into a PDI. You cover that already.
No, I just do that in the
so
sign out.
I would do it at 1. I would do it while you're there. So I was like, okay, great. And then hold on, let me get your goals. All right, looks good. It's already done. You don't want to spend how many? You can spend like an hour. No, just plug it in. It's $9 an hour work. You don't need to be doing that.
Yeah, old school used to have the Excel sheet printed out, and then we'd sign out. We'd have to write in everything.
Yeah. So now that you have it all in one PDI, you're ready to roll. Pilot staff, for example, Sense One staff, for example, you can assistant again. You have so many people, you can probably just do it all again. Okay, so now you have all their goals. So every time you pull up their name on web PDI, you already know what to say and how to hold them accountable. Pretty simple.
So then on Wednesday phone jam, you just get the goals and you just put, for example, John 12 appointments, and you go down from there. And I'm not going to remember to
So
go.
what should be up on the board when you walk in? The functions.
Their names and their goals.
Their name, and what I like to do, since maybe for sake of time, I don't want to spend writing on the board, I'll just put their name and the goal.
Yeah.
And what I knew is such a small thing for me, but I don't do. Oh, I'm sorry, you did it right. So you go backwards. Because when you do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and they cross off starting at 1, it just gets confusing versus cross off 12, 11, and 10. So now I know they have 9 more to go. So it's like a small thing, but try running a phone jam for 30, 40, 50 people where they go 1 through 13. And you're like, wait, maybe my Chinese math is off. I don't know. But
Yeah, countdown is always better.
exactly.
And then for the Wednesday phone jam, It makes your life a lot easier. And then you give them the firm up sheet, make sure they have their Focus 5. And I always have chair desks set up prior. Yeah. So let's say you guys are my team prior to you coming in. I just get, everyone knows what a chair desk is, right?
Yeah.
Right, cool. You just set up the whole room, right? Let's say, Oscar comes in. I'm like, cool, Oscar. Set your goals about 10. Did you schedule any appointments yesterday? Are you doing cool? I mark down his goal. Ideally, they're doing like a 20 call Tuesday kind of thing. They're making calls beforehand or arrive at 5 or whatever the case may be. And you're like, all right, great. Do you have your Focus 5 ready? So let's do a review. What's the Focus 5 that you need to?
Objection, firm up,
Scripts.
yellow sheet, and tackles.
Tackles.
Have it up. And
Objection.
Yeah. Visually show.
Yeah. I'm just gonna write it because it's hard to write it in like
Yes.
little square.
Thank you.
So script, attack list, firm up, schedule,
Well, we use the other sheet, don't we, for schedule? It's on there.
objection. Yeah, well, that's what I meant to. And then
Objection.
the objection. The objection. So then on their chair, they have the sheets of paper. Oh yeah. That way they're ready to go. And when do you teach the firm up?
We teach that. We teach all the firm.
What? Oh yeah, objections.
Yeah.
But they're not really calling recommendations just yet. But I guess it's okay. And so, yeah. So Jeff, I don't know if you want me to cover the mid-meeting.
I want you to cover check in, check out, what happens when people walk in,
Mhm.
what it looks like, how you drive it, and then you check them out before you check them.
So check-in is a lot easier now because of Sunday. That's why Sunday is so important, right? You check to make sure that their attack list is good, specifically for which group, the newbies. But you already saw them in advanced training too, right? So let's say they walk in, you say, "Hey Daniel, let's see, whatever. Cool. Why don't you get set up here on this chair desk? I come up here. Let's go over your goal. I agree you want to do 12 for today. You scheduled anything yesterday. All right, cool. Well, you have 9 left to go today. Let's get set up somewhere. Why don't you? And what I like to do is every time they make 5 calls, they ding the bell. And it's just 5 call accountability. So it's an easy way to drive it. And so let's say, for the sake of writing, I'm going to keep it short. I usually do like a slash. And here I do tallies with how many calls, how many times they've been making 5 calls.
Hmm.
So I can manage
How much should be per hour?
20 or 30. So it's an easy way to factor in the calls. And so when you have a really big phone jam and you're by yourself, it's hard to manage the group. So you can just take a quick scan at.
Time out for a second. Everyone, you all need to register what you're saying. Because cross out the slash and the tally. Just cross them out. So in previous phone days, she's up there in the jam, and she's got reps all over the place. In an ideal world, you're going like this. You're using the trackers. In an ideal world, you're like, hey, what's going on? 2 calls? All right? Matt? Okay.
I was like, that's good.
But see, in the real world, it's chaos, right? You don't have time, and I have a question. Everyone has a question. They always have a question.
Always.
Okay, but here you're able to take a macro view. The culture is tallies for your calls and when you cross your appointments off. So does everyone understand what's happening? Why it's easier to use that? Okay, and so when people walk in, let me clarify physically. In our office, our check-in, check-out. Yes, you can't come into this room unless you've gone to the check-in desk to show us your Focus 5. You have to physically show us that you have it all.
Okay.
So isn't that what we do?
Joke is fine, but yeah, there's a folder.
You hand them their Wednesday sheet,
That's it, I'm sorry. So we hand them their Wednesday sheet, which is already.
pre-made from Sunday.
So what I would do, okay, time out, go back to Sunday. If I'm a branch by myself, and then you got Sam comes with Daniel. So Danielle, okay, the goals are good, okay, let's put them in the web PDI together, and let's make your Wednesday sheet now. Because you're not gonna have time, you're not gonna have time Wednesday morning, I'm telling you. You only have an hour to do meeting prep, inventory, base text. Then it's branch call, interview, AT2, phone jam. Yeah, right. Okay, so do it
You
all
keep
there.
the Wednesday sheet, don't give it to them.
You don't give it to them. You keep the Wednesday sheet. It's all set. Web PDI has their goals. So Wednesday comes up and you find your sheet. There you go. And this is your focus 5. Okay. Goes up on the board. Did you get any already? Oh, I'm sorry. No. You go to a branch. So I'm here. All their names are up like this already. Okay. If you're really pressed for time, you just have all their names up and just the number, and they can put the rest in. If you're really pressed for time, you just sit here. All right, your goal's 12, put it up. Depending. Okay, so all that's up on the board. They start doing the tallies. They can't start phone jamming until they A, show the focus 5, B, they have the Wednesday tracker, and C, in her culture, which I love, you gotta role play the approach once. Everyone on the same page. Raise your hand if that's not what you did before. You're like right away, I can see area of opportunity in my not as good phone jam. Give me a couple reasons why. Give me one reason why. What are you noticing? You're like, man.
Just the organization and the expectation, basically.
Good. What else? Good, Naya. What else?
Is that it saves you so it gives them more time to phone down on Wednesday, just because you're not filling out the energy, you're really just handing it to them and just getting them on the phone.
Yeah, who's in our pilot this past summer?
So
At 30% for business.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. Now, to be fair, we had a trained PSM and 3 people that didn't really go through it. To be fair. So can you imagine?
the
Bombastic.
hey. I was about to go know what he went.
Other things we see. I'm just curious. Other things you notice about the
Hey, what's your goal? We're gonna put out 1 million. 4.
Yeah.
Make it 6.
Yes, I
Let's do 5.
You know
When
what?
instead
I'm
they
feeling
go
lucky. 7.
Yeah.
And then you try to convince them. You're trying to convince them to go higher rank.
So what I like about role play ahead of time, it just sends them into action, kind of like when we start for prep. So if you're gonna have your phone jam start at 6, they shouldn't arrive at 6 and then role play. That's gonna take forever, and you're gonna get started like at 6:30, 6:45. So I arrive at. I'm this year, per my conversation with Jeff, I'm having them arrive like 5:15, so they can just.
And if you're right 5:15, what should you try and knock out before we start at 6?
Couple demos.
2 demos, yeah. You get 2 set before you even start the board.
Yeah. So.
Right, I'm running 18 right now. They're arriving between 5 and 5:30. I'm not stopping to check in, check out. So the philosophy is, hey, everybody, okay, Grace, we're just finishing. And just let them go. There's no focus 5. I don't care how they do it. And then right before we start the phone jam. So everybody, start checking in. So your phone jam, your 18-2 stops at 6. You're probably not really starting your phone jam until 6:15, 6:30. But at least if everyone's going for 2 appointments, if in 5 to 6 o'clock they're just trying to get 2 appointments, that makes up for the appointments that you're not getting between 6 and 6:30 when you're checking people. You see what I'm saying? You understand what I'm saying?
You know what I mean?
Ni hao.
Okay.
So every hour you want to look at this, and let's say that I'm just gonna make up numbers, right? They have their call, whatever. I'm like, all right, cool guys. We have about 2 hours left. John, you still have you have 2 more. Nice job. Pal, you still have 8 more. Let's get going. Jeff, you only got 1 or 2, so we need to get on that. So and so you have 4 left. So and so you have 4, and I'll just like say exactly what they have left, so they know that I know what's happening. They think I'm dumb, and I'm like, nope. I see it here. Can't do fake calls. Right. And then what the 5 call marking does. Sometimes I go to people one-on-one. So those are my one-on-one conversations during phone jam. Like, hey, David, I noticed you've only made 10 calls. You've been here 2 hours. What's going on? Yeah. It means that you've averaged you know, one call every.
When you're ready to phone jam, stand right in the middle. That's where you stay.
Yeah.
Right? So,
And then you
let's
pull.
reverse it. Let's say this is the board. All right, everybody, when you look at the board, and it's Grace all the way back. Low call. Grace, you step up real quick. Hey, come on, let's go. Don't leave your post. 'Cause
Yeah.
The moment you walk out, energy drops.
Yep.
So let them come to you. Come here, Miss Grace. Exactly.
Dr. Bagut. I recommend to purchase a raffle ticket thing. Sometimes I'll just give away tickets and there's no prize.
So many times.
You want a ticket? I'm like, hey, make sure to get your ticket. Every 2 demos is your ticket. What's it? Just you need to get it. You'll see.
What do you say?
I just don't even give away. And they're like, they're so about it. They're like, I need my tickets. I need them. I need 3. I have 6 demos. I'm like, all right, cool. And then we'll start.
Louis.
You know when you have contests where you're giving stuff away, right? Like gas cards or you're giving stuff out. You always have that one kid that you know those aren't real appointments, and you know they don't sell anything. It's usually your lower
Yeah.
echelon kid in the back.
It's a second cup.
Louis.
And they come up, hey, did you get my ticket? Did you get my ticket? I'm like,
Yeah, totally.
Ticket.
Yeah.
You don't put it in
What
it.
I do
You
is I
don't-
like I go, I'm like, yeah, I got it, and it like falls
Yeah,
to the
exactly.
floor, and I like don't put it in,
I remember.
or like it's like a second cup underneath.
Well, that's
Yeah.
Sometimes you really should pull the name live, but I've done it where I'm like, oh, ice cream scoop, pull the name, like. So I just give away okay prizes. There's nothing that says that, oh, we give away this, let's get some more. If you give away whatever you get people excited about, that will get more demos.
Yeah.
Right? And I keep talking about Sarah, she's one of our best friends for many reasons, also one of our more profitable. And she sold so much. She had the highest productivity in the branch I've seen in years, maybe ever, maybe not quite ever. Those mustache things you put on.
Sticky notes.
Sticky notes. I mean, but she goes, hey, this is the price. What's that for? Hey, it's just for fun. You build up doing your job for small machines, and her contest budget for the summer.
Because when you do your job, you make money.
And even bubbles.
Remember when we
Even
did her
bubbles.
profit loss? Oh, maybe we're not going to 200 pro pushes. Not non-pushes, rather. The pushes she had with she had customers, she gave them, but the non-pushes, she didn't buy a gas card through the week, and then she wasn't on that budget. Even if she was, she would. So just think about that. Don't get sold. Sometimes what crypto managers are really good at doing is making extreme, definitive, polarized statements. Like, we get more PRs because we give away the butcher knife. That makes it happen. And I actually heard that exact term. Then we give away the butcher knife, the big nasty, because then you gas it. It doesn't matter what you give away. I give away the peeler. I give away pens. And we were the #1 office in new business in the pilot. And I give away the stupid. I mean, my prices are terrible. No, they're not terrible.
My favorite was
But my thing
Yeah.
is just be careful not to get caught up. Be careful in a prize mentality of what drives people. What drives people is understanding how they operate, managing results, treating people well, things like that, not the prize. Because then are you raising reps that are just prize hungry? I don't want those people in our leadership category. People like you. You're not prize hungry. Some of you haven't even been selling. You guys are lower income than you want to be. You're still doing why? Because you see the prize at the end. It's not the physical prize of the trip. You guys are picking up what I'm putting down? You can sit down. It's your show. Just living in it.
pick it up. I just put it
Sure will.
down. Yeah, I mean, in terms of other phone jam thing, the biggest thing is just managing the whole process. So Jeff is right, just stay in one spot, make sure everything is being tracked. The kids that are sharp, keep them close to you. Just keep them right around your desk, so you can keep an eye on them. Make sure they're doing things right.
Use the paper to use that only.
Yeah.
Reserve.
Yeah, Jessica used to do that with me all the time. I remember, like, she was in there.
Go.
And we
Hey,
were,
Tracy.
not like, it was like, we were like, trained to that. It was like,
Yeah.
I got to the
Lucy,
phone jam.
Do you remember what you were talking
Yeah, we phone jam like around her desk. It was awesome.
We used to have like 4 people on each side on the floor in groups.
Yeah.
That's how it
Everyone,
worked.
any questions for Network?
Yeah, pretty much. As it comes up and I notice that it's been an hour and someone's only made like 5 calls or hasn't even mentioned something, I'll be like, yeah, come here real quick. Come here. What's going on? Oh, I've made 20 calls. What? You scared me. You need to tell me. Are you tracking it?
Once you get to that, the staff now, we're the district staff, that have staff, so it's different.
I still stay here and I have the
You got
assistants.
Jan Ward, right there, the person in the front. You got one floater, one or 2 floaters.
Energy Ninja.
Right, one or 2 floaters, and then the rest are doing what?
Or
All
Joe's.
in.
Who are driven. Well, technically, you just need one or 2 people, driving. You probably only need 3, 1 and then 2 floaters.
And do rep driven live in front of them and just advertise, guys, give me your friends. Like, and then just after you hang up the phone, like, I always say, man, I'm so good at my job. Oh, give me your friends. I promise you, I will set them up for an interview right now.
Kayla and I used to have a
What are you doing, Dorcas? Come on, give me one. and
It's fine, let's make the call.
and I do the Facebook station right next to me. So I'm like, and I just go down the list and I kind of like check them off if they've done Facebook status for Wednesday. And I'll just go down, hey pal, you're next. Come up here real quick. All right, Jeff, you're next. All right, so you're next. I'll do the email blast or the anything social media. I always do it again on Wednesdays. It's a different time. But on the AT1, you do it in the morning. So this is another time to get to it at night. Cool. All right.
Do we put a round of applause? Thank you, man. Real quick. Need energy. Stand up. 30 seconds. Get it. And another song. All right, stretch it out. Last talk, last message. Come on.
I'm gonna bring up Pal because she has been one of those people that just by being around Pal, people want to be around Cutco, right? Because if you leave Cutco, you leave Pal. I mean, man, I don't leave Pal, so I'm not gonna leave Cutco. And all of our great developers are like that, and they just live great lives regardless of the CPO. This is why we go back to my opening comments full circle. You're not your CPO, right? Up until last year, and this is so funny because the Lukes and the Kaylas and the Daniels of the world, they can see the prowess of being the #1 pilot in new business this year, #4 in the company for the year. I mean, we crushed it and everyone's all excited. But I remember the 4 previous years when Karina and I were trying to build from scratch and we didn't catch momentum. We were just having the hardest time. And I just remember it was just so tough. But we still developed some really good people, and we weren't the #1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 pilot. But from Karina Summers with CPO, we were some of the lowest pilots. We had some of the best people. Why? Because Karina's a good person. I'm okay. She's a really good person. And when you can really focus on that, don't equate development with charisma. Don't associate development with confidence necessarily. Sometimes when you have lack of confidence, but you just still try or just do your best, people are attracted to that because they can see through who you really are. You guys understand what I'm saying? So before we get to the technical part, I think there's an altruistic, fun, inherent like feeling part to developing. Just be good people, man. Be good people. When you're good people, you'll attract good people. When you're the opposite, you get the opposite or no one wants to be around you. That's what happens. Paolo Linden.
Not.
Okay, so getting to the more technical part of development. Something that I've always realized when it comes to development is really the art of promotion. And someone Daniel and I have been talking about, which is Andrew Smallwood, bring this a lot more to light in the sense of like when you're promoting, and we actually have a system to this, which is very important that you actually write down or make sure you're promoting the right way. So what's the first, where's the first part we actually promote development? Interview, right? So you want to make sure you have that.
This is a great flow chart. However you want to do it, computer or handwritten. Put on your desk. That helps us. What she's about to do, put on your desk so you know when to develop people. Also have your metrics sheet printed up on your desk. And then take 8.5 hours.
So where in your interview do you actually promote? The perks, right? So you have your perks section in the interview, which is the last section in your interview. You want to make sure that you yes, you hit it hard, right? Because it's really when you start promoting. If you promote it well in your interview, that really connects with your training. Okay, there's certain parts of training you actually do it, and it's very important because then it will align to that first BC you have with them and everything else. Okay, so you have your perks section in your interview, right? Where's the second part you actually promote development? Opening comments, yeah. Where in opening comments? Be a little bit more for day one.
Where you talk about the staff and what you're looking to create in the office.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so that's very important, right? You actually also you want to, even before you start your opening comments, I usually try to keep an eye out on the Better We Know You sheets. To actually see like who's income, who's experience, who's really into, who was a PR. That's usually something that also helps when it comes to development. Because if you come from somebody that already has the Leadership Academy buzz, like it's already interested in Leadership Academy, it's a lot easier to really promote Leadership Academy to those people because they have already heard of it. They're in the right circles of influence, so it's a lot easier. But if you see it in the Better to Know You sheets, when you're actually connecting with your sharp people, that's one of the things that I actually pinpoint. It's like, oh, you have here experience and growth or whatever they put. I actually try, oh, you should really pay attention to one of the things I'm going to be talking tomorrow, which is advancement. But I'll let you know a little bit more about that. So I start getting seeds in there of when am I going to be talking about development. So it's something that you want to make sure. But in opening comments, of course, that's something you obviously want to be talking about. On
it's like what I'm building talk in your OCs. Also, something that I do as well, make sure when you're talking about Jeff, you really build Jeff up. I believe Jeff is your best tool when it comes to development, because SLDMs, division meetings, SC1, SC2, he's really our best promoter. So you really want to make sure you build him up, because then when you actually are talking to, you get to text Jeff, which I'll talk a little bit more about that. Because I literally, my mission every summer is to bombard Jeff's phone with all my rep texts. And I think I'm pretty good at that one. So as soon as you build up Jeff the right way, when you actually tell them they get to text Jeff, they get incredibly excited. So that's an effect you really want to have, because the more you build up Jeff, the more value they will have on whatever he says. So you want to make sure, and it's, anybody play instruments here? Okay, I don't know if you know, or even sports, you have your coach that's telling you everything, and then all of a sudden another coach or another teacher tells you the same exact thing, but it's like mind-blowing to you, and then you come to your first teacher and it's like, oh my God, they just taught me this, and they like, that's what we've been doing since day one. Mm-hmm. It's the same thing with Jeff. So making sure you build him up correctly. Okay. Where else do you talk about development when it comes to training?
When you're talking about, I do a little bit in VIP night, when you're talking about who you can surround yourself with and top people in the division.
You actually talk a little bit before VIP night. What do you have to talk about before?
Thank you, fast starter.
SC1, right? Yeah. So you're building up SC1. You talk about SC1 a little bit in your interview, because you have to mention it, but it's really in training where they actually understand what SC1 is. And you start talking about that we're looking for people to be promoted as assistant managers on SC1. So you're really starting that promotion right there. Okay, and really doing like your stump speech when it comes to SC1. So yes, you definitely have VIP, your circle of influence. It's definitely one thing that you want to have. What else are you? So I'm going to put here SC1 just so you have it.
Pullback.
Pullback, yes. Okay. So when you're doing your pullback, your first pullback, actually, you start talking about that, because exactly. Thank you, Daniel. You talk about key staff and what that really means. Usually, they really haven't heard much about key staff, except maybe a little bit on your opening comments, and of course in your interview when you talk about key staff. So really building key staff and what key staff means to the organization. Like this is my core team. This is the people I spend a lot more time. This is the people that Mr. Gamboa actually is the people I picked to present to Mr. Gamboa. And these are the people that I start picking to become or be selected for an interview for Leadership Academy. So being on key staff is like your first step on our ladder when it comes to our company. This doesn't mean that you're going to be on key staff, but I think you have all the qualities it takes to actually be there. So keep working hard, and then you promote everything that you like or of them. Okay, what they did during training. So nice. And your second pullback, okay, you also, I would go definitely deep on that. So when you go on the actions that you like, deep on every single, because second pullback is individual. You recognize individually. So make sure you tie that up to key staff. Also, I really like how you role play. I like how you were helping Karina. She was having a little bit of a hard time. And that shows leadership qualities. And that's definitely something I really want to have in my key staff. So it's like connecting key staff and leadership. Okay, nice. So what else? So then would be day 2, right? Where do you talk about
Promotions after you do that, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Right. So actually something else is really when you're seeing assignments, as soon as I see names and numbers more than 50, I recognize there. Key staff quality, nice. And then they're already hearing key staff like 17,000 times. And they're like, what's this key staff thing? Like they don't really grasp the idea. They just know it's important, and they get excited because you're telling them, hey, you're doing things that I see in the people I select for key staff. So make sure you keep that up. So that's one. Definitely on your red zone when you're in advancement. So the key in advancement is not only doing the percentages and how much they earn, but also when it comes to leadership, what does it mean every promotion? So as soon as they get to their first promotion, what that means to them when it comes to leadership in our development.
They get to sit in.
I'm sorry?
It's just manager content.
Yeah, you get that PC, your first PC with them. Okay, so you actually sit down with them and you map out like what would like more in detail what each promotion would mean for them. So technically what you're doing is making sure they get to that 10K, so they get to that interview with Mr. Gamboa, and making sure you don't, this is something that I've gone custom when they're newer. I never say, in Puerto Rico we call him Jefechino, but I always try to go with Mr. Gamboa, so it sounds even bigger. It's like, so when they meet him, it's like, oh my God, it's Mr. Gamboa. So I'm Gamboa, Jeff Gamboa. Senor. So making sure you really build Jeff there. So first promotion would be obviously that first PC where you get to go to each promotion. What would it mean? You go a little bit deeper on Leadership Academy, what it means for them, or what would it take for them to get an interview, and really mapping out what would that mean. So that's first promotion. Second promotion.
Consider for yourself.
Key staff, okay? You're considered to key staff. And it's not the same as an invite than actually being a key staff. Something that we make sure is invitation is very inclusive, but actually being a part of key staff, it takes a little bit more. So you want to make sure everybody experience key staff, so they get like that taste. So it's like a teaser for them. It's like, oh, now I really want to be part of key staff. But actually being part of key staff, you got to make sure you have those set standards. The 3K, positive attitude, make sure you ask. Okay. So making sure you have that. So that's 3K. What would you do in 6K?
30-30, about build out branch AGL,
Mhm.
and the summit well, continue strong and SEO.
Yes. Okay. You're near that 10K, so that's a promotion before. I usually do another PC right there, or I actually try, if you have a bigger team, it's easier because you can make them like team leaders or help you a little bit when it comes to PDI. Because here's the thing, like if you are really looking towards getting your team bigger and really having development, you have to look for teaching moments. And at 6K, it's perfect to do that. Because usually when there are people at 6K, you usually have a good amount of people to either do 2 teams or a few teams and actually teach them how to do either PDI and rep driven. So the conversation there is like, hey, if you get the opportunity to have your own office, get that into your verbiage. When you get the opportunity to have your own office, blah, 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 whatever you're going to teach them. Because now you're treating them as you're going to have your own office. It's like, I'm not saying you don't have to make a decision now, but if you get the opportunity to have your own office, blah, 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 whatever you want to teach. Because then they start getting their hand around, like, I actually could do this. I don't know if it happened to you guys. I know it happened to me. I wasn't thinking about having an office in my Fast Start. Like, I really wasn't. Like, that was like, oh, that's cool. But I wasn't thinking about that. But Jessica told me so many times, hey, when you actually can get your office, it's like, this could be real. Like, I could actually have an office. So it's like painting the vision of them, seeing themselves as having an own office. So 6K. And then 10K, well, then you have what you need to have an interview with Mr. Gamboa at the end of the summer. That's a really big deal. We only have certain spots. So this Leadership Academy, we're very selective when it comes to the people that we have here. So I don't do the interviews for that. Actually, Mr. Gamboa does. So you get a one-on-one with Mr. Gamboa himself. So he comes, at least in San Juan, he comes to San Juan. You get a one-on-one. It's just him and yourself. It's interview. I'll prep you for it, making sure you look super sharp. You have like your suit right out of the dry cleaning. It's hot, it's pressed. You have your tie. You're looking more handsome than you already do. You have your resume, so I'll actually teach you how to do it. I'll like build up the interview so much that they already get nervous and they only out of their first promotion. But the whole idea of them like visualizing themselves, like actually going to that interview, it's like when you are firming up with the customer, that you make them give them your direction so they visualize you actually going to the demo. Same thing with a rep. You have to make them visualize every single step of the development. Okay, so making sure you have that 10K, like how that interview is going to be, and everything, and building towards that SC1. Okay, so if you really want to impress, because the tool is, if Jeff is really built up, that is your tool for development. Like if you hear me doing whatever in development, it's always also that you're already going to be impressing Jeff. or you're gonna get in Jeff radar. That is like my lingo. Like if I don't know what to say to them, oh, that would impress Jeff. And that's about it. It's like, I have no idea what else. Yeah, and people actually start doing it. It's like, oh my God. And then and I really believe the further you are, the better. Because they get so little time with Jeff. It's like once they get that time, or haven't you seen reps when Jeff responds to their text and it's a thumbs up probably. And they're like, oh my God, he responded. You're like, yay, high five. But that's because you build it up enough. If you haven't seen a rep with that reaction, you're not building your DVM correctly. Okay, that's something you should have. So that's definitely one of the things that you want to make sure. So that's day 2 where you go through each and every single promotion. Okay, what else do you talk about development? Where else do you talk about development?
Schedule talk, you promote the SODM.
Yep, schedule talk. SODMs. Mhm. So you want to make sure SODM is in their schedule, because SODM is where Jeff really goes all out with development. Okay, like he said, this is like the best event he runs. Is like full promotion when it comes to SODMs. So you want to make sure that's in their schedule. You don't want to have a rep that says like, oh, but I have that are going for a big fast start, because you're going to have those reps that they'll be like, oh, but I have 7 demos booked up on this Tuesday. So what can I do? It's like, you go to SODM. Like, no question. There is a reason why we're taking a full day from your schedule, from your fast start for this meeting. So really having value on that meeting. Okay. Also, in that schedule talk, you also talk about SC1, the event. Okay, so you're once more talking about the event, who's going to be there, what they're going to learn, how to impress Jeff, the push countdown. Obviously, you go through that. So making sure you're promoting SC1 as well. Okay. Where else are you talking about development? So you have schedule, you have advancement. Pullback. Okay, you want to make sure you talk again on that pullback, especially because in the second day 2 pullback, those are the people that are going big for their fast start. Okay, so you're promoting.
Can we talk about that for a second? So,
Sure.
Because we meet with you again and again. Even the first pullback, day 1, I'm meeting with you guys, just set the group. You can see how key staff. You remember that key staff program, and I give you a letter from
Mr. Gamboa.
Yeah, I think this is the type of group that, in fact, remember I even mentioned something you may meet them on Tuesday. This is the group that would be like the meeting on Tuesday. Right? Some people don't even understand what that means, but just saying that, I think it creates an excitement. The first day of their job training, they get pulled back and give you that. Just starting it there. Okay, good. Continue talking.
Sure. So definitely making sure you have that as well in that pullback. Now, day 3, what else do you? So let's pullback.
High flyer workshops.
Yeah. You go through their schedule, right? Okay, so again, you're talking SODM once more. So you get to meet Mr. Gamboa. So making sure they see the value on SODM. So if I'm doing a schedule for a 10K fast start and I'm pulling you out for this very important meeting, there is a reason for this. So it's in your schedule. Even though you go to this meeting, you still can make the 10K fast start. Making sure they understand that. Because there's some people who get like, oh, I have to do 10 demos every day. And they get like super obsessed with that. So making sure that's in their schedule and understanding like, hey, this is the program. Like if you're doing this right, once you get out of SODM, what you learn here is really going to make sure you're set for success. So these demos not only are going to be better because you're going to learn all this, but you're going to even sell more. You're going to have a better closing ratio just because you have this SODM. And then we always make the joke like once, and I don't know if you do this on Mainland, but if Jeff Gamboa touches your blue book,
You make me.
your average order, your
Yeah,
average order is like, it will double or triple. So make sure you're in the SODM. And you see everybody's like, oh my God. Okay. And I always make the joke, like for example, for me, I met Jeff at SC3. He shake my hand, a solo complete set afterwards. And I was like, this works. Like, it was that handshake.
I never washed my hand ever since.
So make sure they see the value on the SODM, because they're really going to understand a lot better development as soon as they get out of the SODM. And as soon as they get the SODM, so you have your reps, they come back or they call you. What's your conversation, or what are questions that you want to make sure you ask them? There are 3 key questions after an event, any event.
How did you like it? Biggest takeaway? What's your move forward?
Okay, so let's go one by one. What's the first one? What do you think? So just getting their feedback. After SODM, I don't know what Jeff does to them, but they're incredibly excited. They're like, Jeff is the most amazing person in the world, which is how they should, react. So you want to make sure you feed out of that excitement. So what did you like the most, blah, 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 and making sure you're digging deep of what really they liked of that event. So that was the first question. Second question, what are you thinking now? What do you think they're usually going to say? Let's go branch. That's usually what they say. Oh my God, let's go branch. What do I need to do? So feed off of that. It's like, oh, you're open to branch? Okay, let me sit down with you. Let's actually make a plan. So this is what you need. Okay. So you want to really go deep when it comes to that event. Okay. So that's the second question. And then action plan. Okay. So once they tell you what are they're thinking now, you want to sit down, because you don't want to stick on only how they feel. You want to get that into a matrix you can actually follow up on. It's like we're trying to really drive through assignments. It's the same thing. So we're putting that feeling towards something you can actually measure, and actually you have like baby steps. Because if they're at $1,000, you can't just get to 10K. Go. You have to do like baby steps, so they don't get overwhelmed. But second, they actually see the smaller goals and they get excited every time they get to those baby steps. Okay. And then you can make like action steps in between. So it's like breaking down their goals. So it's a lot easier. Okay. So making sure you ask those 3 questions. Did everybody get those 3 questions?
Yeah.
Yep. Perfect. Okay. So that is definitely after every single event. That's not only SODMs. That's even team meetings. That's even conferences. That's a PC. Okay. That's make sure you're after the interviews, after Leadership Academy interviews. If they had a good if you're connecting them, something we did very well is we would connect people with people from other offices. So if they get, let's say they talk to Karina in an SC1. So what do you think about that conversation? Okay. What are you thinking now? Let's do some action steps. Okay. So make sure those 3 questions are part of your verbiage every time they get out of an event. Okay. Also, how to get on Jeff's radar. So
let me make a quick point.
Sure.
You're going, this is perfect. So here's one thing I know will help you sell on it. I made this reference already, I think, at this meeting. When you have a branch culture, not a leadership academy, a branch culture, which I would say here is no interest in leadership, no interest in advancement or management, so ground zero. Okay. Oh, okay, sounds cool. Okay. Wow, really cool. I want Leadership Academy for all the wonderful things that you can talk about with TLA, the Leadership Academy, right? All those. And then, yes, Leadership Academy is awesome because I want to run a branch. When you have branch culture in your office, that's an unstoppable office. Mm-hmm. That's an office that doesn't care that SC1 finishes and then we're piecing for SC2 because they want to earn it. That is a branch. Branch culture is one where you have the kids that don't need to work, but they all work. Right? Because they want to separate themselves. They want the experience. They want the growth. Money, sure. That's the team that retains. That's the team that sells in August when everyone else who doesn't. You can tell when an office has no development or branch culture because August everyone quits. Everyone's like, I'm out. I got to go back to school. But if it's a branch culture, people are fighting until the end. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Can't see it, not yet. Too early, right? And that's going to create tons of CPO. I will tell you in the pilot, that's one thing that drove it first disorganized, and the pilot was very disorganized this summer, believe it or not. Like whether you think so or not, or know that, I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, it was like a 6, maybe. But what we had for
first number the PowerPoint.
Thanks. But ready? We got the big things right. And here's what I want to share with you. We got development culture right this past people were fighting. I'll use Alex Thomas. Alex Thomas doesn't need income. He doesn't want income. But he was so upset. Now, he's not in Leadership Academy now. There are other different circumstances. But he was fighting, and the reason he was selling is he wanted to get that experience to separate himself. And he's the guy that doesn't need, he's the guy you want versus the guy you can get. And Leadership Academy or AGL for us. AGL. And those are the things that cause people to be here. So just when you start to, I don't know if this makes sense to go through all of them now or just finish your talk. But these are some key phrases. We'll come back to them. She's going to cover some of them on her own. So don't ignore this, do your talk.
Sure.
But she already covered the 3 questions. The easiest way to remember this system is whenever they leave an event where they meet me, ask the questions. SODM, any conference, phone call with me, interview. Okay. You want to go? Or should I just go into these?
I was gonna go into this.
You go for it. Okay, cool.
Now finishing on this, actually before we go get on Jeff's radar. So day 3, going through the schedule. Where else do you talk? Let me see if I'm. Where else do you talk on development? A big one actually.
PC after.
PC after phone jam. Yeah. Where else? It's a trick question. Where you can plug it in. Actually, PRs. Okay, so making sure you get all your friends, because that's one of the things we look for in leadership, in the people we want in Leadership Academy. So people who are getting your friends in, it's very important also to talk about when it comes to PR. Okay, I usually do that more one-on-one because it's a lot easier when it comes to the PR collection. Okay, so that's on day 3. Also, you want to do that on PDI when they're actually start selling. Something I'm really focused on, and it's one of the things that drives sales, is, let's say, Danielle, you sold $500, right? Oh, that's great. You have the whole conversation, but one of the things I plug in the PDI, you're $500 away, not only from your first promotion, but what else? That first PC, that SODM too. That first PC, so I can really talk to you. SODM, when you can actually meet Mr. Gamboa. So I try to go more than just the 15% because they know that. We drill that on the training. But I also build up the experience as well. Because a lot of us, what we do on PDI is we go totally on what? On income. Oh, you just made $50, a lot more than the $15 base pay and this and that. Now you're at $15 if you're close to your first promotion. And we go really big on income. And we kind of forget on the experience, okay? Also, what we want to make sure is get what gets on Jeff's radar, okay? And I'm really big on, and Daniel, you probably noticed it. As soon as I get, usually it's more than $500, okay, make sure they text Jeff. That's the first thing I think of everywhere. Set sale, make sure they text Jeff. Make sure they text Jeff. Make sure they text Jeff. Like, I wanted to get to a point where, like, people are like, can I text Jeff? No. Can I text Jeff now? So, and then you get the buzz of what? People in your office, it's like, oh, Daniel texted, I want to text Jeff. What do I need to do? And then people start asking that question. And when you're really doing that, your AMs start really promoting that as well. Oh, ask Gavin if you can text Jeff. Or ask Grace if you can text Jeff. I think that's good enough, but make sure you ask Grace. So then you're adding leverage. So then you have like steps. So it's not only they have to impress. When you get AMs from SE1, it's not only, oh, we need to impress our manager, we need to impress Jeff. There's always somebody you need to impress. That's like, there's always going to be somebody above that, like, you want to impress. So that's the same thing you're doing there. So, and that goes with CPO talks, because what? Jeff is not in your office. So what's really the only thing he sees is your demos. So cool, you could be here helping me doing whatever, but he's only really going to see what? Your CPO. So that's the only thing he can know if you're working or not. So let's get you to really sell sets, or let's get you to do blank. So use that as how you can move your reps to the next level. Either selling, if they're having problems selling sets, hey, I want to make sure you text Jeff and really get you on his radar. So let's go ahead and do this. And then you PC them to make sure they're on the next level. Okay. Always getting into your verbiage also. Like, you know what? I think you would be a great branch manager. Have you thought about that? That is like, and then you all of a sudden they go like, really?
That's it. I got it. Like, stop.
That's a good one. Okay, but really getting that, but it has to be genuine. It's not like everybody like, you know what? I think you like. You have to make sure you don't say that to everybody.
Here's some quick rule of thumb. Think about it. It's systematic. Whenever you're complimenting someone with results, Danielle, it's 3 weeks and 100,000, you know? Wow. Consistent. Hey, we're talking. They're really consistent. I think you should think about it. I'm going to talk to you get bought some from, but stay consistent. And you're really not just because you're awesome. Even though Danielle may be awesome, she might not be. This one is really consistent at $1,000 every week. I really appreciate you. Were very so thoughtful. Thanks for bringing on. You didn't have to do that. I just, I think have you had leadership positions before? Yeah, they're really thoughtful and you dance, right? Ballet. You ever thought about a branch program? Oh yeah, Michigan would love that. See, we have to find their best because who do we want running branches? The best people, right? The best version. We're staying in the same team. The best version of your generation. We want running branches. So people show great traits of the best version of the generation. Those are the traits we want. So when someone's really benevolent and thoughtful and brings you along, when someone's really consistent with their sales, these are actions of branches that we want. Hey, tell our branch program. I always like to start leadership. Right? I did that with Lucas. Luke, tell me about the football. Tell me about football. I know you as an athlete, be in leadership position for football, and next time you went that direction. David, military. I want leaders. Music. Drug cartel. You're the drug cartel. Yeah.
I blame you guys combined.
Daniel speaks in Spanish with an Italian accent.
I don't know what happened to that.
It's funny though. It's really funny. So making sure you promote it there, but also that has to go in your team meetings. Now that we're doing Sundays as like a team meeting version, we should put it in there too. And that's really something that you should add in your what I'm building talk. So what's the first thing you should talk when it comes to what I'm building? What do you think is the first thing you should talk about, considering is the first few weeks of the summer? What should you promote first? SC1, right? That should always be your like first thing you think about. So SC1 and what is that, and really promoting it in the sense of here's when you go in your team meeting, here's where you go full blown SC1. Okay, like since you're getting out of the house, you're like I was doing with the interview, like your suit is pressed, dry clean, your socks, like Andrew made the most amazing SC1 stuff speech. Like your socks are right out of the laundry, you're just putting them on, you're ready, you have your blue book, you have like your orders, and you're like,
they're still warm, you can feel it on your feet, and you put them in the shoes, dry.
And then you're going towards your office and you start seeing everybody from your team. You know, the people who started with you in training, your key staffers, you actually see your manager back there. Everybody's dressed, everybody's perfect, everybody has their best suit on, their best dress, you know, everybody's with their blue book, their orders, they're getting ready to what? Right? The carpool, the ride, and you get there. Okay, and when you're actually in the ride, everybody's calling their last customer because we're still $3,000 away from our goal. And every other day, that would be a lot, wouldn't it? But we have 2 hours to drive. Let's say we're Fort Myers. They did this in Fort Myers. That's why I do 2 hours. Yeah, 2 hour drives and everybody's just jamming in the car. And you know what? Let just sold a peeler. And we're like celebrating. Okay, we're a peeler last from our goal. Okay, and then Kayla all of a sudden got an essential set. And David actually called a customer that didn't get a demo from them, but he closed in a chest. So you know what that means, right? We're only like 1,500 away from our goal. And all of a sudden, Ashley was calling her uncle that didn't want to have a demo, and she closed an essential set as well. So now Kayla and Ashley are competing. All of a sudden, we're getting to the event. We're getting to the hotel, and everybody's getting their orders. You can see everybody actually rolling like last minute. Now all of a sudden, we're like $10 away from our goal. So everybody's like, okay, let's get our last our last order. Everybody doing our call, and all of a sudden, John raises her hand and says, "Wine opener." We did it, guys. We got to our goal. We're super excited. We do our chant. We start seeing all the different branches coming in. You know, the music is so loud, you can feel the bass in your chest. Have anybody felt that? You can see the doof, 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 and the whole team, and it looks like a freaking movie. I'm in the front, everybody's in the back. We got our glasses, we take them off, and we're ready. Walking in, we have all our branches just getting like next to next, giving you high fives. Everybody with their bang bangs, everybody screaming, everybody's like chanting the song, whatever song we have on, and that everybody's like on top of their chairs, just going crazy. We have music loud. We're making our own music. Everybody's doing their own chants. Everybody has Rolo, and everybody's looking around to see who are gonna be those 10 trophy winners. And you're excited because you know you have it in the bag. Then you see a lot of people with a lot of Rolo orders, and they're excited as well. And then all of a sudden, then you just, the whole idea is like, if you don't get good, like I'm nervous right now, like of how excited I get with SC1. That should be like your moment to really promote SC1 and everybody get like super excited. Then you go to your countdown, and you get super excited countdown, and you actually practice countdown with them. So all of a sudden, what happens? If you have people who have been to a conference before, if you're DMs or past branches, it's a lot easier, so they know how it goes. But you practice with them, so actually do a countdown, and then everybody gets excited, so they get the idea. Even if they haven't been to a conference, they're like, "Oh, or in Puerto Rico we do it," and then Jeff comes in. And like you could in the team meeting, just everybody goes crazy. It's like, what? You're like, he's not here. He's not here. So everybody's gonna run with what? With the blue book, and everybody's gonna ask him for what? His signature. Because if he signs your blue book, what happens? Nothing really. But you have your blue book signed by Jeff, which is great. And everybody gets excited. So.
And then in a second, we're going to do two things right at the top. Talking points, some speech, and talking points for SC1. And talking points for TLS. Right. So, what you notice from Power is like SC1 is amazing. You get the 17 different things that make SC1 amazing. The road trip, the money, the prizes, the fun, meeting people, what you'll sell after, the skill, leadership academy. And all those things are awesome. And those are the things you will take the most from SC1. Will you remember forever? And you're there thinking, what the hell am I at? And you're at the night conference. And the beat of the bass, and people are screaming. And you got people on top, and they call people over. Get up on stage and high five. Your heart's pounding, and you're painting a picture. And we'll talk about talking points for SC1, but the key to promoting SC1 is you build value, and there's like 19 different things. Build value in SC1, and that's what you'll take, but what you will remember is the push. Okay? So, wait, look, is it
Yeah.
All right, we're going to talk about talking points to SC1. Give me all the things that you can promote, and we're going to list them. All the things you can promote in regards to SC1.
Life-changing event.
Life-changing,
Life-altering
life-altering event. I actually know how to do this. Erase this, please. Sure. We'll do this one next. So we'll solve it. So put SC1, but talking points and value. Watch this. That way you can create your own genuine stone speech for SC1. Okay. The talking points would be ways to describe it, and then value is what you'll get from it, or what you'll sell the people will get from it. Okay. Value, perfect, and then SC1 at the top. All right, so Grace hit probably my favorite talking point, life-altering event. And that's how I start my stone speech. Everybody, my job today at the team meeting, thanks, Pal, for letting me speak on the program. Daniel, thank you for letting me come right before you wind up the meeting. I want to talk to you about the life-altering event, Vector Marketing. June 14th, life-altering event. All right. And I know we're at the knife job, everybody, but I want to talk to you about a life-alter event. And you know it. What is it? SC1. Write it down. June 14th.
and then that's how I always start my summer speech. That's my new. Someone, if you've been around, you've heard. Life altering event. And when you think, and I'm telling you, you're the training group or you're the team meeting. When you hear life altering event, little deal, big deal.
Big deal.
Huge deal. And I'm giving you the goods on a life altering event that you, my friends, need to get invited to. It's June 14th. You can go into your talking points. Give me some other talking points or things of value for a rep. So this is what the rep can get. Talking points, either one you've heard or what you feel confident saying. Anyone. Meet Jeff.
That's on.
Valley. Yep, Valley.
Seeing the company's a lot bigger than just our office.
Okay, ready? Expand your vision of the company. Expand. Let's see. See the big picture. Sorry. See the big. You get to see the big picture. This company is not just this local office here on Commercial Point Drive. You get to see how we are the largest college student recruiting company in North America. We're the hottest job for college students all across Miami-Dade and Miami-Dade County. Rick Ross. County. Sorry, it's a driver. Anyway, see the big picture. What else? Talking points or value?
What they're going to be wearing.
Talking points. The fun of the event. How about this? Team pride. Anything associated with we're wearing the same thing. Okay. When the blank office, when PC shows up to Sawgrass for Charlotte, right? When Caguas shows up, just kidding, to the Hilton, wherever the hotel is. Okay, so team pride. Like you're wearing the same thing. You're doing the team chat. Her description, it's like a movie. We take her sunglasses. Right? However you want to paint the picture for your team. Give me some talking points. Let's do the talking points. It's a life-altering event. Ready? Catalyst for an explosive summer. I want you to write that down. Catalyst for an explosive summer. The biggest event, that probably should have been the second one, but yes, the catalyst for an explosive summer. Who wants to have, always give the value, right? Who likes money? Right. Who likes experience? Who likes this? Good. Yeah. Well, who wants a chance to get all those things and have an explosive summer? You got to get to SC1 because it's the catalyst for an explosive summer. Third thing, Karina, you just said it. This is the biggest event of the year thus far. Why thus far? SC2 is coming up. This is the company's biggest event of the year thus far. It's where the entire Florida Caribbean division, or todas personas de la isla de Puerto Rico. Woo! See, that's what they always do. It's my Puerto Rico mode. There's always one rep who's there, like fangirling and crying.
I don't do that anymore, you guys.
I'm over crying. Like literally, I announced.
It was the contest.
I said a contest, and she started crying in the row, and I'm like,
"This is the prize." And I was like,
she started crying. This is awesome. This is awesome. Someone built value. The biggest event thus far. Give me some more talking points. Focus, my bad. Focus points. Talking points, rather. Life altering event, catalyst for explosive summer, biggest event. Ready? Ready? If actually maybe you should be over here. You're in for TLA. Right? TLA, and you can put info off of that info. This is where you'll learn about all the great things about, and you can go off on TLA, TLA's Leadership Academy, and how to get in, and how to earn your spot. What else? Give me some more value building points for the reps. SC1. Yeah, ready? The skills you'll learn and how they impact your sales after. And then you build up who?
no, people who are talking.
Or the speakers. In this case, it may or may not be in, depending on who's there. I don't know if it's Travis. Someone will be there that we can build up. That's going to be worthwhile. Skills you'll learn. Right? And ready? Sales after. Yeah. Sales/income. Other value points. Ready? Networking. Networking. Meeting other reps across the division. Other district managers. Because in business, everybody, it's not what you know, it's what. It's also in life. And that's a great way to network. Great environment, great people. Great atmosphere. Circles of influence, all of the above. Let's see. Great COI. Other value points.
Well, push countdown, like the actual push countdown.
Competition, prizes, trophy. No, from a trophy. It may not be trophy. It might be something else like we're still. Yeah, it could be sword. It could be autographed footballs. I mean, we don't know yet. We're gonna see. I gotta work out where our division is. Right? We might have trophies going for top 7 instead of top 5. You know, something like that. Trophies, competition. Ready? Make a name. Radar. Get on Just Radar. And as is the case with all of our FC events, what's the atmosphere like? Fun and energy. Fun and energy. It's electrifying.
With A and promotions being another conflict.
Well, yep. Yeah, AM promo now for this year. So TLA, we put down next to TLA.
AM promo.
AM promos.
That'd be a talking point too.
Yeah. So essentially, SC1 is a life-altering event that catalyst for an explosive summer. Who's interested in having an above-average and explosive summer? Raise your hand. Yeah. Who's interested in having a life-altering experience? Yeah. Well, you got to be at what's going to be the biggest event of Vector Marketing's history for the year thus far. I would say, and so you're going to want to get invited to the main event. Oh, that's it, the main event. Sorry, I keep getting that. The main event, it's the biggest event of the year thus far in our division, where all of Florida Caribbean gets together. It's SC1, June 14th, everybody. La Isla. Primero de Julio. No, yes. No, sorry, back 1 week.
I know it's the 29th. It's the 29th, June 29th. June 29th.
29 de junio.
Maybe for my birthday.
Yep, there you go. Thoughts, questions? Okay, so when you start to craft, and one of the things Karina's going to do with you guys in the morning is your role play. We were going to role play, whatever there's something else on the sheet. Whatever you send the agenda for role play, scrap that. I want you to role play your SC1 stuff. Okay, awesome. Okay. I want everyone to practice how they're going to pitch it because that's such a big sell, everybody. Any questions?
Sure.
Okay. Hey, by the way, are these the same value points for Leadership Academy? Yes. Aren't these the same points? So let's do this. John, take a picture of this, please. Or anyone. Post it. And then we're going to do quickly the TLA. And this is why, pardon me, this is why you want to get people to SLDM. Because I'll do this for SC1, and I'm really good at it, and I'll do it for Leadership Academy. I'm the best. I'm the best. I promise you, I'm the best at selling. We called it AGL school for years, but and I say this in a humble way. It's because I teach. My talk is to teach the DVMs how to sell it. Okay, and so everybody good? Got it, John? Thank you. TLA instead, and I think I mentioned it earlier, but you understand that the region's gone to one program, right? So there's no more lead. There's no more AGL. There's no more whatever everyone else called it. It's now the Leadership Academy because we want to be able to promote it from a regional level. And again, under the banner of consistency. Yeah. Best practices. You know what they did? They said, you know what? FC and then NFL after FC, those guys were kind of creating a more exciting way to pitch branch. It's branch training, isn't it? Mm-hmm. But they're now making it about growing leaders and the ability to learn, have personal growth on top of the branch skills. They're packaging it as aggressive growth and leadership school, and then a year or two later, what does LEAD stand for? But it's a
Leadership, experience, adventure.
Yeah, so it's all the it's the right.
Program.
But that's my point, and in a positive way, she's branching, but she doesn't know what the leads necessarily stand for. Meaning lead LEAD, the title served its purpose. She's here, right? AGL served its purpose. Right. Although I would love the whole region to go to AGL school, but we decided on Leadership Academy. But This is the same with the add-ons to value though. You get all this, but, and you know, there's chances for trophies and competition during the fall. But on top of it, big arrows, branch. Branch, okay, BM, okay, underline. If you can't sell this, you're in trouble. Branches, okay? And then DM. Okay. And branching is really all about the experience, the experience, the experience. Ultimate stepping stone. Experience, experience, personal growth. You're the executive, you run the show. And guys, I'm a branch manager. That's why I'm doing this. You know, I'm a student over at Florida Gulf Coast on the West Coast. And during my summer, this is my job. My job is to develop sales here in the west part of North Miami. Miami Lakes and this area, whatever the territory would be, right? And then DM, let me tell you how we explain. District manager is our version of a career position or stepping stone position. I'll say it again, career or stepping stone. It can be a stepping stone position for people who want a good first job out of college, gain more skill and more income and then leverage off. Some people, it's a career right out. They know they love the company. They want to be in a sales position, direct marketing position. Or in some cases, it's a great way to figure it out while working for the company they still enjoy going. Or ready continued growth. Not quite sure if it's a career, don't know if it's a stepping stone, but while they're here, they still love being here. It's almost like a growth 3.0, if you will. You can take out the, we're going to put talking points. And how do you describe the Leadership Academy? And you ready? I always say use layman terms. What is the Leadership Academy in normal people, non-Cutco crazy terms? The Leadership Academy is our company's what? Ready? Don't try to think of the answer I want. What is the Leadership Academy in a complete objective? What's that? It is our company's version of management and leadership training. That's all it is. This is our company's version of management and leadership training. What an awesome program. I'm just keeps asking me. I already texted her. Thank you. Our company's version of management and leadership training. Okay. Ready? And it's our company's premier program. It is. It's the best thing our company does, not the knife selling, not the initial 3-day training. The best thing our company does is this leadership training. This 8 months of what we've done for, with, and in some cases to you. Thanks for paying attention, right? This is our company's premier program. Our company being the largest college student recruiting company in North America, this is our premier program. We're able to put you through an 8-month program that works around school. I'm just giving some other, that works around school, that supplements, not takes away from your schedule and your college education. It adds value to your resume, your personal growth, and ultimately makes you the most marketable person in your school. And that's our goal. It's our premier program. Let me tell you about it. And you know what? Now that I've done that, let me tell you how you can earn a spot. You see how, okay, what? Let's just do order. Ready? Just when you put down promotion, we'll do a little equation for promotion. So for promotion, step number 1, what? Parentheses, clear. Clear, layman terms. Oh man, it's so exciting because our team is #1 contender for the Silver Cup and we're going to win it. What the hell does that mean? If I just started the company, your cups, what? What? Hey everybody, there's something called the Silver Cup. What it represents, it's a trophy given to the #1 outright team in all of North America. There are 350 college student offices being run by students like me, and we're in contention. We're number 10 in the nation out of a nationally competitive company, and this is the team here right now in front of me. Silver Cup contenders. How's that? Not, oh, we're going to win the Silver Cup. What the hell is a Silver Cup? Oh, I can't wait for the push. What the hell is a push?
Oh, the push week is this competition that ends at the conference where everyone lines up and they count down to the #1 person in an effort to create competition, and it helps you to stand out in front of the division manager, Mr. Jeff Gamble. Let me tell you more about the push. So clear explanation, parentheses, what? What are you talking about? What are you promoting, right? Okay. Shotgun of value. Why do I use the word shotgun? Shotgun of value. Every possible thing that gives that what a value. You ready? Why? Okay. You want to go with, you can put little 3 with a star. Relate value to your audience. That's parentheses why you. Relate the value to the audience. So why you? What's in it for you? Right? So this is why, these are all the great things of, let's say, branching and TLA. Let's see, and this is such a great, who's excited about some of those things? But I think it's so great. Like Daniela, I know you are a major. That's right. Public relations manager. I can't imagine having you run your own office and going out and run your own public relations firm. I think that's outstanding. And Daniel, I know you want to run that nonprofit one day. Imagine having that, like now I'm relating it to them. That's next level. That's when you know your people. That's where you can cater it one-on-one. Number 4. Hey, what's number 4?
How to do it.
How, yeah. Ready? Step. How to earn. Parentheses how. How to earn. Steps to earn. Parentheses how. Okay. 5. Whether it's a conference sign up, whether it's a phone jam to start, whether it's a, okay, now good luck, go drive safe, text when you get to the SLDM. Okay. So you can fill in any, this is promotion of anything. Jen, when you're ready, promotion. Oh yeah, like that picture, please.
It almost looks like an outline for like any public, like any message.
It is. So I just did.
Yeah.
Absolutely right there. Cool. I'll post it. Any questions? I'll stop there. There's a little, I know you have a little bit more. So the goal of every branch manager, ready? I need 2 to 5 of you. I need 2 to 5 people in TLA at the end of the summer. Put that in your business plan, put that somewhere. 2 to 5. Now, Jeff, I'm bringing an army. Also, bring an army, but I need at least 2. Give me 2. Two people that are interested in progressing. 2 people that are going to be in TLA. And what defines someone in TLA? No, meaning like, how do I define you got 2 people in TLA?
Their sales start.
They're over 10.
They're over 10, but they have an interview with me. They don't get into TLA. What's the final, like, okay, Daniela got 2 in, Kayla got 2 in, 7 in, 5 in. Sonia, you got your 5 in. Nice job. Like, what's the term? When can I say what event, how, what's happening? What I can say? No. How many of you know? Ready? I can name 10 people at SC3. First prep. Labor Day. Right. How many people are in there sitting through my opening comments where I talk about we're doing now what others won't. So later on we can do what others can't. Welcome to Leadership Academy #1. Damn it. Heart's always Okay. Questions, comments? Okay. So on a side note, and we're just going to wrap up with okay. On a side note, so some main events to promote. Number 1, and you can put this into your calendar. Number 1, I'm going to give you step by step. I know Pal covered a lot of just little ways to promote, and you can tell she's a master at it. Let me give you the dumb version for dummies. Okay, so how can we erase this real quick? Yep. We have both pictures of these, John? Yes. Thank you, sir. Anyone clear? You have to be, number 1, side note, you have to be able to tell my bio. That's what we're going to role play tomorrow. SC1 stump speech and my bio. Okay. And then we're going to wrap up with, Karina, you can do a quick intro of me in a second. Ready? Day 1, you have a key staff message in the end of your comments where you talk about Advancement at the very end. It's in the keynote. It's already in the keynote. Talk about key staff, and you hand out the letter. Okay? Which eventually, ideally, is going to be instead a link that has a video from me. But for now, you hand them the key staff letter, which is essentially builds up all the value on a piece of paper eloquently with the letter I wrote, and it encourages them to see me on Tuesday at the SLD. Okay? Then you do the pullback. Okay? You reference, bless you. I say Jeff, but you should say what? Mr. Gamboa. Hey, everybody, and work for you're the group that really did a nice job today. Exactly. And by the way, remember I talked about key stuff? Yeah, that's also the group that meets Mr. Gamboa for advancement first. So that's the people, you're the ones I'm targeting for that. Congratulations. So already starting to put that in. Okay. Then schedule on day 2. Build up the SODM by building up me and what meeting me and meeting with at that meeting can do for you using these steps. Then I'm going to put overall during the first weekend, get attendance to the what? Champions Club ideally, but there's some people who didn't get to the Champions Club for some reason. Get them to the SLDM. You've skyrocketed your potential. It's like one of those, you get to the SLDM, odds of them getting into the development cycle, exponential. Then key staff, because the 3 things they will bug you when they leave my SLDM, 3 things will happen. They will call you or text you incessantly from the event, and they'll ask you 2 things. How do I get a key staff and tell me a branch? Or third thing, actually, or they'll tell you, I got signed up for I got invited to the conference. What? Okay. Get them to SC1. Get them on the 10K Alliance. Get them to SC2. One-on-one tour. Okay. SC3, I think, is important, but there are people who don't get to SC3 in AGL school, but ideally, SC3, and then prep. I'm not really sure why it curved. I'm really sorry. I'm not really sure. Yeah, the board made me. John? Yes. Ready? TLA candidates for dummies. Oh, sorry. No, sorry. No duck face. Okay. Ready? Do me a favor. Give me 2 to 3 minute pair share. Find your partner real quick, and then we'll wrap up. Ready? We'll mute this real quick. Actually, no music. Just go. Let's share real quick. Share your. Sure. I encourage you to stand up. Let's do the 5 ideas. Takeaways. Dana, when I get home, I'm going to send you all the emails related to that list for tomorrow. Arbitration, everything else on that list has either been covered or there's emails sent every day. I'm going to review it. In other words, if there's something missing that they haven't done.
Y tener esta información creo que se me va a hacer más fácil y la parte de la promoción, que como promover cualquier cosa, siento que es bien algo bien fácil de hacer para usarlo en cualquier cosa. Nosotros entramos, estamos promoviendo como que todas estas cosas y todas estas. Hay veces que si no sabes cómo hacerlo, eso es un guideline súper sencillo de cómo promover cualquier cosa. Que aunque tú hagas eso, no se escucha fácil, como que les diste la información y ellos van a saber lo que es, no es fácil. En realidad, pues siento que algo bien sencillo, no tiene, o sea, si no sabes qué hacer, como que si haces eso, y eso que ya. Eso te emociona y ya. No, es bien sencillo de
I don't know. What it was. Everyone share one more each, quickly. I think it's mimicking, yes, and also, I mean, I did it all in the sports world. You know, it's like, I'm from the Ohio State. I'm from the. I'm sorry, I'm confusing your process. Okay. Sorry, my brain's fried. My brain's fried. All right, grab a seat. So first of all, wanted to thank our crew for support today. Beth, who isn't here, but she was able to participate. Let's give her a silent round of applause. 1, 2, 3. Silent. Okay. I'm muted. Round of applause. 1, 2, 3. And ready? Time out. Time out. Someone always does what she does. Ready? 1, 2, 3. All right. Air 5, everybody. Air 5. All right. Cool. Anyone want to share biggest takeaways from just the general session? We are now completing general session. Tomorrow, we have our two senior districts leading very important administrative / CAP preparation / office opening preparation / final receptionist logistics session tomorrow with Beth, Karina, and with Pal. They're also going to cover the base pay and sample kit program, which, again, don't let it overwhelm you. Don't let it scare you. If you just follow the system, it's low maintenance and it keeps your profit high. That's really it. So big takeaways from general session, and we will, as any strong team, not just work together, but we'll continue to play together and eat together tonight at First Room. So
I'd always take one and praise a little bit higher by putting that one. You like those actions, but it's Jeff would like that leadership.
yeah, leveraging. Good, awesome.
If you're not promoting, you're dying.
And so, yeah.
Exactly.
Mm.
Just makes the sense of when you are promoting. It's like making sure that you make the vision that much clearer. It's good in all the sense.
You ever had something to eat and you just described the hell out of it?
Yeah.
Oh man, there's this cheesesteak. It's like, it was a Kobe, you just did this last night. This Kobe steak, cheesesteak had this foie gras and it went, and I was like, and did you see you got me? Because I went, was it like some obscure French baguette? That's what I said, right? Because you got me. Because you got really in depth. I could have said, oh, how was the bread? I could have said, oh, it sounds good. I said, but I'm sure it was some obscure like French baguette. Yeah. I went home and I said, baby, can we try this? I got pumped because you appeal to the senses and you're explaining. Being a storyteller is an amazing art, not just for the Cutco branch office. Being a storyteller and painting a picture. Good point. Good. Other takeaways. Naya.
Okay, development tying it into how it's a premier program, basically.
Yeah. We are a college student development company. We really are. We are the people development. Specifically, we are the college student development company. Right. At some point, one of the things I thought about was we're vector marketing. We're the student stepping stone. Right. Now we're not quite there yet. right? We don't quite have that reputation, but we could. You know, part of my, that you have a grandiose, bigger view of yourself. My biggest view is that we become the premier college student company. We're not yet. We're the largest, but we're not a household premier name yet. We're not the, oh, you're in school, you want to get better. You should probably do Vector, really, honestly. I mean, they're the college, the stepping stone company, but we're not there yet because we still have a lot of growth, and it's good to be a part of that. Takeaway or thought? I'll come back. Yes. Okay. I know. I saw you go. Damn it, Josh.
The whole promotion talk is really kind of, it's like you're dealing with the four sins. Having that impact that nobody understands.
These aren't the droids you're looking for. Who else? One more time. A branch-driven culture sells a lot. I agree. That's right. Yeah, I can also tell who promoted leader development and leadership at TLA because they sell in August. Versus, I want to take a break. Danielle, I'm tired. I'm going back to school in 3 weeks. Right? I want to say I thought we had a strong finish today. What I'm grateful for is the energy and attitude of young people who continuously want to get better. Anchor number 4, aggressive pursuit of growth. And that's what we did all day today for 48 hours practically. Again, just to be clear, my philosophy, when you have a team and proximity and time together is also very important. A team that works together and eats together, wins together. You may have heard that before. And tonight's a time, and I want you to make every moment where we're getting downtime, a time to network and grow those COIs and the circles of influence. So instead of doing events like just tonight or at the kickoff conference, this is why one of the reasons why I love our team. We're never the team in trouble for stupid partying at conferences, ever. Ever since I've been down here. We were, when I took over, was the party division, by the way. Oh, no, right? And we are now the, off the record, right? But I take pride in that because, ready? You're an extension of me. And I believe in trust, respect, and accountability, the best version of yourself. Anchor number 1 is true professionalism. It's not just in business, it's in everything that you do. So back to living these anchors, if you will. When you go to events like this, when you go to the kickoff conference, make it about, okay, I have an opportunity to increase powerful circles of influence. So is what I'm doing, is the time that I'm up till, are the activities I'm participating in making me the best, better, worse, or less version of myself? Answer that question, and that should tell you what to do. And if you're really strong and stuck on being the BVOY, whatever it might be, best version of yes, the boy, right? Did we just create something stupid and fun? Yes, we did. Okay, all right. If you are really creating the best version of you, let that be the way. If you get anything from working with me, let that be the way. How to make good decisions. That's what I want you to learn from me. That would be my gift of legacy, and you fulfilled my value of legacy. Where, I always think of things, because what would WWJD, what would Jeff do, right? Running joke.
What are you doing right now?
Right? Hey, what's happening right now? Hey, how you doing? Right? So tonight, listen, how do you make the best version of yourself? Create relationships. Talk to people you haven't talked to. Ask lots of growth questions. Ask business. Ask personal. Right? Get to know people. Be respectful. What I love about Team Night Out is that everyone knows it's my team, because the way you treat the waiters and waitresses says a lot. How you treat them. Please and thank you goes a long way. I can't tell you how many people, when you say thank you, I notice. When you don't say thank you, I notice. Right? I think about how many people said thank you for the food. That didn't just show up. Some thanked, some didn't. I'm not fishing for a thank you. I'm just telling you how I want you to operate is that it's just automatic to be grateful. Because maybe one day you won't have any pizza. Maybe one day you won't have an office. Maybe one day you won't have you fill in the blank of something you have now. You might not have it. So be grateful. Be grateful. It's hot as hell. We've been here all weekend. Maybe you won't have a job to do a weekend training. I have to dress up. Maybe you won't have nice clothes anymore at some point. I mean, just be really grateful and just become a better human. Be good peoples with an S. That's it. That's what I want for all of you. So we're good. We're the good people's division. And let me go backtrack. We'll end with this for some fun. I know I kind of went away from competition and like how we were, we're 6 out of 6. And it's not really that important to just CPO and win, but we're not here to get run over, and we're certainly not the doormat of the region. Okay? I'm just telling you, be respectful competitors. That's all I care about, right? Humility in winning, and even more humility in losing. That's when you should show more humility. Actually, the other way around, right? Be humble when you're not there, and when you're there, be even more humble. What do they say? When you lose, say little. When you win, say less. So when we're not 6, and we're 4 or 5, and like, oh, how's that? Oh, it's FC, and we're 3-2, and then we're competing. Maybe one day, maybe not. I don't know. For one, it's gonna be the same way we were when we were 6. You understand what I'm saying? That's important. Take that to your team, and I'm just telling you, it's an awesome way to teach people to live. It's awesome. That's why I really love doing what we do, whether we're #1 Silver Cup pilot, terrible, low CPO, high super awesome development, high CPO. It doesn't matter, because when you're doing this and you're serving and you're really making people better versions of themselves, this job is effing great. I wanted to curse so bad, I did not. So we're gonna go to Bruce Room. I'm gonna have someone put the address. It's the one in Coral Springs. I think that they have room for us. So I'm gonna ask that you help the staff, the pilot staff. We're gonna do the quickest red zone because we have 20 people here. So we're gonna red zone in 5 minutes. Make it 8 minutes. Organized rides. Can I have one of the districts please put the address up? Thank you. And Beth is over there already, I believe. Can someone text Beth and let her know we are red zoning right now and about to leave? And thank you, everybody. Can we round of applause for you? Round of applause for you. Round of applause for you.